In fighting games, things change very quickly. Metas shift, characters get buffed, and characters also get nerfed. But when certain characters, example Taz, gets buffed 2 to 3 patches in a row, things get pretty interesting in the statistics front. And as you can see here, his win rate is 63% in 1v1s, and runner-up Superman, the greatest cheeser of them all, is only 56%. If you also take a look at Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny being the lower 2 of win rates, what does this mean? How can we dissect this? And does this mean that Taz is absolutely broken and he should be your new main? Let's go over that in today's video. First things first, in the most recent patch of Multiversus, one of the bigger patches that we've seen so far of the game, Taz got only buffs. And not only did he get only buffs, but every other character in this patch was seeing a lot of nerfs, especially Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny. Now these characters are still extremely good in my opinion, but there was different skill gaps now created, and also dynamics between Taz and those characters are changed because he's better than he was before, and the other characters are worse off. Not only that, but the last patch that Taz was worked on, he also received multiple buffs, and no negative things were coming to his character. This, over time, buff after buff, adds up to a solid character that just isn't bad anymore and is actually playable. Now, I could go in depth on why Taz is a decent character now, but overall, if you're thinking that he should be your new main because he has a high win rate, I would look elsewhere, because the reason the win rate is high is because people are actually having to learn how to play against the character when he has tools that are in his kit that can make him win. Before, he was a pretty terrible character, but now he's actually just a decent character, in my opinion. That's just at least how I see it, and overall he's not a overpowered character, just people are getting a lot of wins because in casual queues it is hard to deal with him if you don't know how he works. And most people don't know how he works. They don't know that you can do a dog pile like this and apparently make your opponent jump off the map, and they can't do anything about it, and they can't touch you. Most people don't understand that Taz is actually a solid character, and now he has ways to actually kill people, and he's not just sitting there doing like 2 damage, he can actually hurt them. Also, people don't realize that this can't be contested really, and a lot of moves in Taz's kits are kind of geared to stomp people who don't know what they're doing. Similar to actually Jake, who I'm playing right now, where a lot of his moves you can't contest, you have to wait them out, you have to chill, and you can't really do much about it. You just have to know the knowledge check into what you're supposed to do against that specific character when they're doing a specific move. Although the win rates of Bugs Bunny are pretty much 20% lower than Taz, the matchup Taz versus Bugs Bunny, in my mind, Bugs Bunny is still a far superior character. Taz doesn't have loops, Bugs Bunny does, and Bugs Bunny's hitboxes are just way more atrociously awesome and easy to hit compared to Taz's. Even though a lot of Taz's moves have priority, Bugs, you can just spam 2 moves and do an infinite loop and kill your enemy. And that is how you get looped by Bugs Bunny, like this. It's pretty solid, doesn't feel so good. You can't do that with people like Taz, and even having a loop in the game is pretty annoying in general, but especially in 1v1s. The reason the win rate isn't that high in Bugs Bunny, I think, is because it does take obviously a lot less casual audience to be able to do a loop like that. Most people can't do the loop, and most people also just want to use people like Taz. You don't really have combo game, you spam things like this, you hit them, or your dog pile, and you don't have to think too hard. It's really simple, straightforward character. Bugs is simple and straightforward in my opinion, but if you want to actually do good with him, you're gonna have to at least know how to play the game somewhat, especially if you're facing people who haven't played the game that much. You can't do things like that on Bugs Bunny. You can put rockets out and kill people early, but playing Taz is just very, I guess, casual to put it as a character. But definitely he has a lot of room for a high skill cap, like most characters in this game, and there's a lot of potential for them outside of just a casual queue. But my reasoning why he is good in casuals is because of the things that I mentioned and spamming things like that. Anyways, that's it for the video today. I don't want to drag on 40 minutes of your time just to explain to you that Taz isn't that broken. His win rates are really good because most people don't know how to deal with them, but overall win rates aren't the end all be all, and the game is balancing quite nicely aside from me being absolutely obliterated by Superman and him grabbing me once at 0 and dying and a few other things. It is a lot better than it was a month ago.